Thank you very much. Thank you. Re a leboga. Re a leboga, re ka dula fa fatshe. Leina la ka ke Galerekwe Tsotso Virginia Tlhapi. Ke MEC wa Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation mo provinceng ya Bokone Bophirima. I am going to chair this program today together with the Minister of Arts, Culture and Sports mo South Africa, Ntate McKenzie. La muitsa ke re ba gaetsho. So nna le ena ke rona re tlo drive ang koloi ye mo letsatsi la ka jeko. Re kopa fela di passengera tsa rona e nne di passengera tse di siameng. Ba bofe di safety belt, ba relax because today ke letsatsi le le botlhokwa mo calendareng. Ke letsatsi la basha. Letsatsi le leng gore all of us we know gore young people by 1976 went through and la itse gore ba swetile. So today is for young people ba ba leng fa today to know their mission as young people. You must create your mission because today ra itse gore as young people unemployment e re tlhasetsa ke re ba gaetso. So let's le your own program as young people to make sure that you match the 1976 young people. We are not going to sit down and wait for our parents. We are going to fight this system so that this system can accommodate us. So we are here today not only to celebrate, but also to hear from other young people ba eleng gore ba na le mission ka bophelo ba bona. A ke re basha. So the VIPs of today are young people, yourselves. Again, young people of today, ke lona ba ba leng fa ba eleng gore the deputy ministers, the executive mayors, ba ba leng fa all the leaderships, ba ba leng mo today, the MECs, they are here to give you a support because most of them ba setse ba fitile 40 years, I know. Ba setse ba le ba golonyana. So they are here to support you, including myself. Le nna ke setse ke potile calendar ka kwa. But we are here for you as government of South Africa. So make use of this day. How well ko lapeng for the young person o sa tlang fa today. O khone go mmolella gore I was there, I had the premier, I had the deputy president, and this is what we can do as young people. And young people, make sure that you unite as we gathered here today. Unite in your mission. Make sure that you work together. Because Rona as government, commemorate your days, plan. Have your own plans and tell us, put us to task so that we can deliver on your behalf. So like I indicated, I'm going to share this program with my minister, Minister McKenzie. I will now call on, before Pitbull, I will call on number 1 of this province to come and welcome everyone Otilembo province in Northwest province. Ntate Lazarus Mokhosi, ki premier wa rona, to come and make a welcome. Amogele batho botlhe ba ba leng teng. Re kopa batho ba botlhe ba senang ditilo ba tsene ka mogare ditilo di dintsi ba gaetso. Premier.
Thank you very much, MEC Tlhapi, and your co-program director, Minister McKenzie, Deputy President, Your Excellency, Ntate Mashatile, all ministers present here today, all deputy ministers present here today, members of the Executive Council of the Northwest present here today, members of the provincial legislature and National Assembly present here today, the provincial chairperson of Salga in the Northwest, Councillor Khumalo Molefe, the Deputy Chair of NYDA, Karabo Mohale, the Executive Mayor of JB Marks Local Municipality, Gaba Katele, Executive Mayors and Councillors present here today, leaders of various political formations present here today, youth organizations present today, leaders of faith-based organizations, the Northwest House of Traditional and Kwessan leaders, Bagaetso ka kakaretso, dumelang. Le tsogile le tlotse. Ra leboga. Program Director, on behalf of the Northwest Provincial Government, let me take this opportunity and extend a warm welcome to all our guests to our beautiful province. A province of warm people, rich history, culture, and heritage. Today, it's an important occasion, marks the official countdown towards the much anticipated 50th anniversary of June 16 uprising commemoration next year. As we take stock of this monumental and historic milestone, we invigorate the spirit of all heroes and heroines of our liberation who laid down their lives for our freedom. It is their bravery, sacrifice, and resilience which continue to be a cornerstone of our political independence, which among others is centered on democratic values, respect for human rights, and equal opportunities for all. As a province, we pay homage to all June 16 youth activists who inspired by, among others, Onkgopotse Tiro, a bona fide of the Northwest and the first liberation activist to be assassinated by the apartheid government in exile. His revolutionary spirit must continue to serve as a source of motivation and beacon of hope, particularly in the full execution and attainment of our national democratic revolution. Program Director, in a few days we will be commemorating another important milestone as we mark the 70th anniversary of the Freedom Charter, which was adopted on the 26th of June 1955 and pioneered by struggle heroes such as Professor Kiudirelang Zachariah Matthews, Moses Kotane, and J.B. Marks, who were astute academics and political activists and freedom fighters. They laid an important foundation for a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous country. Re le province ya Northwest, re pila le go ikgantsha ka bagaka ba mo go segeng motlhala o lerileng kgololosego mo nageng ya rona ya Aforika Borwa. They paved the way for the long-standing resolve of our forefathers in the Freedom Charter proclaims, and I quote, "The doors of learning and culture shall be open, and that education shall be free, compulsory, universal, and equal for all our children." Bagaetso re le province re beile tlamelo kana thebolo thuto kwa setlhoeng sa dintlhapisego tsa puso ya rona. Education will remain one of our apex priorities, with more than 1.5 billion spent on infrastructure, school nutrition, and scholar transport on an annual basis. As a consequence of these policy measures, more than 700,000 learners in our province are served 2 meals per day and attending no-fee paying schools, Deputy President. The Victor Teba Sephora Provincial Bursary Scheme, named after our struggle veteran and a contemporary to Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, and Nelson Mandela, is in full swing. We have set aside 10 million rand for this, for our students to pursue their qualifications in engineering, biochemistry, film, and television. Moreover, 31 students from our rural and previously marginalized communities have been enrolled to study medicine in Cuba. Program Director, our skills development and training initiatives as job creation efforts are gaining traction day by day to mitigate the impact of high unemployment figures in our country. Over the weekend, Deputy President, we successfully launched a groundbreaking 3,000 hectares dry beans farming initiative in Mante in a Greater Town local municipality. This project, which is going to be a benefit to 2,000 young people, will have an annual turnover of over 57 million rand once implemented in full swing capacity. During our State of the Province, Deputy President, I indicated that we'll be partnering with private sector, in particular in this and Pillar Jordan, and South African National Defense Force to train 3,000 young people in artisanal work. The advert will be, and the recruitment will be going out, and we'll start this operation in September. Our employment creation activities are yielding desired results, as we have been able to afford close to 10,000 work and business opportunities for young people through internships, learnership, and business development initiatives, in particular in tourism and agriculture. In relation to the latter, 52 National Youth Rural Service Corps farmers completed their training in animal and plant production, and about 116 unemployed graduates have been appointed. A further 555 young people will undergo training in the national goat and sheep industry development. In addition to this, Deputy President, 480 young people will receive training through the Graduate Skills Development Program in Artisanal Intelligence, Biofiber, Robotics, and Coding, among others, in the next 2 years. In the next few weeks, I will be meeting with our artists in the film, television, and music industry to start working on a program called Choletsa Serodumo Sabokonupurim. This initiative will be centered on creating a thriving entertainment industry. Lastly, Program Director, I wish to thank all of you and the young people of this province for honoring this event and having entrusted us with the huge responsibility of changing your lives for a better. For a revolution, as Thomas Sankara once said, and I quote, "It's not a public speaking tournament, nor a battle of fine phrases. Our revolution is not simply for spouting slogans that are no more than signals used by manipulators, trying to use them as catchwords or as code words, as a foil for their own display. Our revolution is, and should continue to be, the collective effort of revolutionaries to transform reality, to improve the concrete situation of the masses of our people." Bagaetso jaaka motsoga pele a tlile a ka ya re tloga e tlogagale modiso a tsone o tswa natso sakeng a makalo le amogetswe mo profenseng ya North West. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Let me see. Mbonza di flagata lena ke bona una le bophelo mo bopom. Bophelo boteng. DP, there's life here. There's life here. Thank you very much. My name is McKenzie. I'm the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. I'm a co-MC today. Before we start, some 4 important rules and announcements. Number 1, can we all rise and be silent for a minute for the victims of the flood in the Eastern Cape? We have sadly lost a lot of people, and please can we rise for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Then, thank you. When you have an important function at your house, everywhere, you always check who honors the invitation. And we must thank the people that honored the invitation. I want the following people to rise so that you can see your leaders. Tshwantse o tsebe di leader tsa hao. Batho ba tlileng ho wena, batho ba GNU e re utlwang ka yone, ba teng gompieno, ba fitlhile, ba teng halesi vandag. Can the minister, you know, nearly more load shedding, ka ba tlisa another minister. Hai, ka tlisa bophelo. Sputla, ha re bufe matso, Sputla. Hey, while one Santua load shedding, he's fighting it. No, stay standing, Sputla. You know, there's somebody important here. She's always in the background, Deputy President. I want people to know, she's always in the background, very softly spoken. It is the Director General of the country, Sis Balen. Remain standing. The Minister of Basic Education, Khwarube, can you please stand up? Minister of Higher Education, Ngabane. Minister of Transport, what it taxi, the basi, the Tokaufela, Barbara Krisi. Minister of Women, Ukadula Staging, Martonso Emma, you have to stand. Minister Cindy Chukunga. Now I must take off my hat because we're working with royalty. Minister, remain standing. People must know us. I must take off my hat because we have Unkosi Butele Zishenge. Yeah, Shenge. Yeah, Baba. We have our Deputy Minister Steve Litzika here. Please stand up. Our Deputy Minister Kenny Murolong. Please stand up. Thandi Murake. Dixon Masemula. Nontrebo. Alzuza. Andries Niel, kan je opstaan alsjeblieft? Bagaitsu. Maar Swana Saka Wata Kitoli Shula, Premier. Bagaitsu, mensen, this is the government of national unity. This is your government. This is the government that will bring change. This is the government that will create jobs. Our boss, His Excellency, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, has given us the line of march. Give our people jobs. Give our people houses. Skamamela Baba Buandi Twatangata. Hey, GNU. Harifuni GNU. Ufunani. How Funani GNU. To the ministers, thank you very much. Let us change the lives of our people. Kilebuile Tata. Thank you. The ambassadors, they also came. DM, they came to support your program. Can the ambassador of Germany, can you please rise? Rise, we must know you. Can the ambassador of Indonesia, can the ambassador of Cameroon, can the ambassador of Japan, can the Greek Royal, they're international. You can see, we are international. Zapatovico! Thank you very much. The VIPs today, I want to tell you, I know you welcome him, but you must not welcome the DP like welcome Abo McKenzie. For us, you can welcome us like, Minister McKenzie. But when the deputy president of the country is here, he must feel us. The ones that don't know is here. They must hear. Can we all rise? Recitation for the Deputy President Paul Mashatile. Thank you, DP. Premier, you've done well. We are happy here. Thank you, DP. You can be seated. Na mo kilinteng ha ke rate botsirane. Ha ke rate mo nkare batho ba jile retex. Ek soek nie waar daar 'n bietjie gevrektigheid is. Ek soek lewe. Ons weet Afrikaans. We are saying die ding kom ruk. Bokuli China is coming here today. Bokuli China is coming here today. Bol Lady Blue is coming here today. Baba Sati mo jaiva. Ka ba jamarela. Bo Andries Nel. Baba Sati bon Zuza. Nalis Butla. Re tlo le bontsha hore rula re etsang. Ha re sapetso. Thank you very much. And lastly, I'm keeping time. You have 5 seconds. I'm sitting there. When you speak, when you go over your time, you have 5 seconds from here. From here, I will stand up. You have 5 seconds to wrap up. Arnana Kosto Mamela is speech forever and ever today. We are waiting for the deputy president's speech. You're not swearing moru. You're not swearing the daba. Let me call next on our program. And the president sent a message. He's at the G7 because we are hosting the G20 this year. It's not a small thing. The problem with President Ramaphosa is very humble. If it was me, you'd all have known I'm the first president in Africa that is the G20 president. He's a humble man, so he's soft-spoken. In school, I would have put the curriculum. Who's the president of the G20 this year? McKenzie. So we are having the G20 presidency. That's why our president is not here. Can I please call Potchefstroom? Let's give them a big hand. Secondary school for the recitation. Thank you very much. Over to you, our children.
Women of equality, gentlemen of integrity, the House at its largest capacity, please do receive my humble and sincere greetings. First of all, I would like to welcome the Deputy President and all the ministers. Welcome to Potchefstroom. Today, I, Zuleika Isup, along with Amishka Gilliland and Kiamukhetsu Kwasha, stand before you today proudly representing Potchefstroom Secondary School. We are going to enlighten you and to take you through a very important aspect of our beautiful South Africa. We are going to be reading the preamble of this constitution. So as we begin.
Rona batho ba Afrika Borwa, re itse ditshiamololo tsa rona tse di fetileng. Re tlotla ba ba bogileng ka ntlha ya tshiamo le kgololesego mo lefatsheng la rona. Re tlotla ba ba diretseng go aga le go tlhabolola naga ya rona, mme re dumela fa Afrika Borwa e le ya botlhe ba ba tshelang mo go yona re le ngatana e le nngwe ka go farologana. Thank you.
We therefore, through our freely elected representatives, adopted this constitution as the supreme law of the Republic so as to heal the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. lay the foundations for a democratic and open society in which government is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equally protected by the law.
Die lewensgehalte van alle burgers te verhoog en die potensiaal van elke mens te ontsluit en 'n verenigde en demokratiese Suid-Afrika te bou wat 'n regmatige plek as 'n soewereine stad in die gemeenskap van nasies kan inneem.
May God protect our people. Nkosi sikelele Afrika. Morena buluka sithaba sa Yesu. God seën Suid-Afrika. God bless South Africa. Mudzimu fatushetsa Afrika. Hosikatekisa Afrika. We thank you.
Konale challenge yano ya Haiti. Deputy Minister Thandi Modise wa itse challenge ya ka kere. Yano go batla ke namele. Re a leboga. Thank you very much. Ke kopa le ba fe matsogo. Thank you very much, Minister. Na ke na le minister on tlhokometse wa gaetso. Thank you very much. Ke kopa le fe bana ba le matsogo gape. Thank you very much, Potchefstroom Secondary School. We are now going to another item on the program. Before I call the speaker on the podium, ke batla go gopotsa basha ba rona gore most of you guys gore ga le itse gore what is NYDA. Now today re tliseditse leadership ya NYDA. NYDA e tshwanetse make sure gore e developa bana or basha ibile e ba fa platform e ba sister ka everything. So I think me o tlo tla mo because he's a young woman, I trust her. O tla tla le fa dikgang tse di botse. O tswa ko Limpopo o tla le fa dikgang tse di botse. Ke ene the deputy chairperson wa NYDA me Karabo Mohale a tlo go lefa ka lefoko mare ya no basha. I'm worried gore a mmela go khona go utla gore the opportunities that NYDA has for you lo khona go di note ga le dira modumo ke kopa gore ga gona le speaker here just listen and note ga le go lena le dipene mo go lona. Before you Karabo, can you sit please? Ke lebetse go acknowledge my colleagues. Ke tlebe ke dira mistake go sa acknowledge my colleagues. I know amongst us Deputy President Renale MEC Mukua ga ke le bitsa my colleagues ko pale wave fela le dumedise batho. Renale MEC Mukua na go le tshwarisa ka Minister McKenzie ke bua gore le tshware diposo tsefe mare young people ha ba fetsa fa le go bone le go engage le bone ba le tshwaretse something. Renale MEC Sambatha wa dikgomo. Renale MEC Danki. Renale MEC Molapisi. Minister, we are also happy that the Northwest Provincial Legislature has also joined us. Mogareng ga rona re na le Speaker sa rona Mme Dr. Mohono. Re na le gape the Deputy Speaker Ntate Colin Maine. O ka nna mo emelela mmagaseo mohumagadi. Mogareng ga rona gape we also have honorable members of legislature. Ke bone Honorable Stale. Ke bone Honorable Sonakile. Ga ile gore there are other members ba ke sa ba bona ba tla intshwara. We also have the chairperson of Salga. Ntate Khumalo Molefe ebile is executive mayor of Ngaka Modiri Molema District Municipality. As and when bantse ba gore ba bona, we will then indicate to our VIPs gore ke bo mama ba lente mo gare ga rona. Let me hand over to Karabo Mohale to give us some sweets. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the program director together with the minister. My name is Karabo Mohale, the Executive Deputy Chairperson of the National Youth Development agency. To the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, leading the delegation of government, consisting of ministers, deputy ministers, and esteemed colleagues. Today is not just about remembering history. It is about carrying it forward with purpose and intent. Carrying the weight of young bodies that never made it home in 1976. Carrying the fire of voices that were silenced too soon. Carrying the dreams of a generation that stood so you and I could be free. They tried to bury them. Little did they know they were seeds. The greatest honor we can give the giants on whose shoulders we stand on is not only in celebration, but it is in confrontation. Confronting the uncomfortable truth. We have to dismantle the shackles of poverty that still bind too many young people. We have to refuse a country where the only inheritance that the young people have would be generational poverty. We have to reject a reality where far too many young people turn 35 without never having had a job or an economic opportunity. We need a youth-centered economy. Not one that only includes young people, but one where young people are co-creators. To our government as led today by the Deputy President, we lament because we believe, knowing what you are capable of. We have seen you move mountains. When we think about the dark period of COVID-19, we remain hopeful that you too will rise up in defense of the young people of South Africa. Let our generation see that you do not just hear us, but you act for us. The young people of South Africa need you now more than ever. And I would like to say this plainly. Young people are not looking for handouts. They are not looking for favors. They are looking for a chance to contribute meaningfully to the development trajectory of South Africa. They have what it takes. Minister McKenzie, if you drive through the dusty streets of Limpopo, you'll hear a sound that is rising from the ground, a genre that is born from dust and defiance, Lekompo music. Made popular by the likes of Shandesh, Janesh, and Karishma. Young artists are reclaiming their space in the arts. Minister Nkabane, if you walk through the corridors of our universities, you'll find not just students, but authors of knowledge and builders of scholarship. Similar like Prof. Noluxolo Xaza, an associate professor with a PhD in information technology from Nelson Mandela University. Professor Jewel Mudiri, who became the youngest professor of law at the University of Pretoria at the age of 29. Or Professor Shamolombiza of the University of South Africa, who became the youngest and only associate professor of mathematics education in the country with an NRF Y2 rating. Minister Chukunga, these are not just achievements. This is evidence of what happens when potential meets support. Our demands are clear. We need to commercialize youth-led research and innovation, fund the commercialization of research, patent the ideas of young people, and fund them to scale youth-developed solutions. Turn labs into launch pads for jobs and enterprises. Secondly, we need you to localize development and create jobs where young people live. Government must take development to where the people are, in townships, in rural villages, in squatter camps, in informal settlements. Thirdly, we need to break barriers to markets for youth-owned enterprises. We need to ensure that we enforce real youth access to procurement, to the markets, digitizing supply chains, and reducing red tape. And lastly, fund young people to industrialize with intent and scale. We need a bold, dedicated government that does not only support, but catalyzes youth innovations. As I conclude, Deputy President Mashatile, from townships to tech hubs, from farms to fashion houses, in every corner of this country, young people are breaking glass ceilings and generational barriers. But in other corners, there is dead silence. Young people have stopped believing, and it is for them that we must fight. For every young person who still shows up, we owe them momentum. For every young person who has given up, we owe them a reason to fight and rise again. To the youth of South Africa, there is nothing under the sun that is beyond your reach. Gear up for greatness, be bold, be brilliant, and above all, be limitless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, young women. Thank you very much. Basha, ke kopa le feng mme Karabo Mohale matsogo a bofuthu. Because she's speaking on your behalf. And she's saying, NYDA need creators. Batho ba e leng gore ba tla tla ka di-plan. Young people do not want handouts, leadership. Deputy ministers, ministers, I'm happy that some of you led young people. So you know that young people do not want handouts. They want to be a solution to the problem. They also want to be part of this economy. So whenever we engage with them, let's get the handouts, deputy ministers and ministers. Be rest assured, they are ready, and they can take this country forward. If you give them the baton, I'm definitely sure that Deputy President, they can take us somewhere. So thank you very much, Karabo Mohale, and I think you will then go around South Africa and discuss the issue of youth developed solution. Go and work with all young people. Baba ko Motlabe ke mo Moses Kotane Ntate Kenny Morolong, Baba ko Swais Renek, Baba ko Taung, because this province is one of the provinces they are rural. So whenever we plan, riskera plana ka blanket approach. Re plan ka mokgo di province tle be di leng ka teng. So thank you very much, Auskarabo, and I think Bashaba Northwest, Bashaba South Africa are ready to also engage with you with the solutions that they might be having. Let me call two young people. They will now come and give us their testimonies. I don't know if ready if bas ready refite. I want to call on Janjis or Jankies Bourderey and Sandile SK Original Kapola. They will tell us the systems of government and the programs that government has, they will then tell us and then where are they? Jankies, Michael Temo. Okay, and Jankies. Where is Sandile SK Original Aka Kapola? Okay, thank you very much. You can start.
Santla kitse chono e go leboga this opportunity ya gore ke be ke eme mo pele ga matshwiti le baeteledipele ba puso e re ke simolle ka go dumedisa the deputy president of our country, the premier of our province, ke tsele mahoko ga honorable minister Mr. McKenzie ke re all protocol observed. Bagaetso na kalina ke tshepisho ka sefane ke Jankies. Ke musimane wa ko Taung, ko Greater Taung local municipality, ke tswa ko villageng e bidiwang gote ke ko Kgobadi ko Dry Hearts. Bagaetsho in quickly se ke tlo go se buang hela ke go sherela. I did not know gore ke di achievement, but today because I'm honored, I'm going to tell you this achievement. Jangis Burdere Bagaetsho ke setlamo sa agriculture and agro processing se se leng based in Taung, where we are producers, packagers, distributors and exporters of a product called Lucerne. Jangis Burdere, it's in the industry of animal feed production. We are also processing this animal feed. During my tenure, I started 2021 in this business. My first and big client that I scored, it's a client in Botswana where I started my export load during 2021 till to date. Jangis Burdere Bagaetsho has participated in multiple agri expos and projects across SADC. In 2021, Jangis Burdere has participated in the Uru Harui Agri Expo in Namibia, in Okahanja. During that tenure, I was supported by the MEC of Agriculture, Medes Bomohono. Honorable Deputy President, let me tell you, and the Premier of the Northwest, in that expo, there were people from different countries. Our products were judged, we were selected. There were everyone to look at the product in terms of your presentation in the business. And let me tell you the good news about that. Jangis Burdere was the only business in agriculture from South Africa and Northwest Province. Now, in that, I say, Honorable Deputy President and the Premier, I went to represent your country and your province in 2021. Now, in all the judgment that were done, Jangis Burdere came home with a gold medal. Jangis Burdere has participated again in the Botswana Global Expo in 2022. We were supported by NWDC, where 9 of us from the agri, mining, we went to that expo also to exhibit our products. We participated, we came strong, we went there better and prepared. We participated in that expo again. We were blessed by the former president of Botswana by then. And during the night after that event, we have won the country's pavilion award, bring it back to South Africa. Thank you very much. Jangis Burdere currently, as it's sitting, it has incubated 100 young people, and I must indicate that I am the contributor of job creation in the province and the district of Dr. Ruth. Thank you.
You know, it's a very big privilege to be on the same stage as greatness. So, you know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, you know, for a young person like me that doesn't have too much public speaking experience. So be forgiving, okay? Honorable Deputy President Paul Mashatile, Premiers present, Minister of Youth and Minister of Sports and Arts and Culture, all other ministers, deputy ministers, mayors and councillors, all our leaders, fellow young South Africans and dreamers, good morning, if we're still in morning. Thank you very much for having me and giving me the chance to stand here today. My name is Sandila Khapola, but most popularly known as K Original. I'm a young 23-year-old visual artist born in Cape Town, raised in Polokwane, and now based in Gauteng. Today I would like to share my story with you, not because it's perfect, but because it's, you know, mostly real. If there's any one person in this crowd today, especially a young person, who will hear it and get inspired, then it's worth showing up. Let me take you back. I grew up in a place where access to art would not even be a feature in this conversation. In Polokwane, there weren't any art schools in my area. There wasn't any programs introducing kids to creative careers. There's just no place where you could walk in and say, I want to be an artist, and someone would say, here's how. So when you grow up like that, the idea of becoming a full-time artist feels kind of impossible. Not because you aren't talented, but because you don't know where to begin. You don't even know where to look for mentorship, basic materials, or even funding for what you want to do. The truth is, most of us, especially from smaller towns, we don't even know that there's funding out there to support talented individuals. And that is a serious and major gap, because there's a saying that the poverty is not knowing what lays outside of your door. So imagine what happens if that knowledge was freely and easily available to every young person in this country. Imagine how much talent would rise. Now, fast forward to 2020, lockdown hits. I'm supposed to be at school, but like many other students, I'm forced to stay home for like 6 months. So what did I do then? I just started drawing. I drew every day until I'm able to meet a couple of celebrities that could help me, put me on a pedestal, to help me market my business, you know? And at first, it was just to pass by time and as a way to start, you know, being busy during the lockdown phase. I went from pencil sketches on paper, pushed myself, experimented with charcoal, then with paint, then with glass. So for those that don't know what I mean, I'm the guy responsible for making cracked glass artworks. The ones you see on your TikToks, your Instagram, that's me. Thank you, thank you. Now, I found ways to turn glass into a canvas, and that is when people started taking notice. It's something different, it's something raw, it's something that reflects not just art, but the struggle and resilience. Today, I'm proud to say that small spark, that lockdown hobby turned into a real business, which is now a movement, a business which gave me a voice. I've had the honor of meeting some of South Africa's greatest names, including Mr. McKenzie, who's very much supported my business. And not only in South Africa, but recently I had the opportunity to meet Chris Brown and hand him over my piece, you know? That felt surreal because me, a kid from Polokwane with no fancy background, no formal training, standing in front of one of the biggest artists in the world with a piece of art in my hands. But I didn't stop there. I'm now earning a decent income. I live on my own, in my own apartment, and I own 2 cars. I have the freedom to travel in and out of the province when I need to. All of this is because I chose to start, even when I had no resources, no guidebook, and no roadmap. I want to say this to every young person here. You don't need to have everything to start. You just need to start with what you have. Your idea, your passion, and your determination. I started with my ideas, my hands, and my phone. Do not wait for the right moment, but make the right moment. There are a lot of SK originals all over this country, young creators, dreamers, and thinkers who just believe in themselves and to have a little light to shine in what they're doing in the dark. To our Deputy President, to all our leaders from government and business sector, let us not wait for Youth Day to speak about the potential of young people. Support us by creating innovation hubs, incubate the ideas of young people into viable businesses. Support us by establishing talented academies to nurture talented artists, sportsmen, artisans from around the country, including townships and rural areas. Support us by making funding, mentorship, and access to local and international markets. To every young person here, keep dreaming, keep creating, keep fighting. Remember that everything I started, I built with my hands. Because as our great leader Utata once said, it is in your hands to create a better world for those who live in it. Let us shape our future with our hands right now. Thank you. Kia leboha.
Thank you very much. I'm a 2000. I'm a 2000 ateng in the house. I'm a 2000 ateng in the house. Brasputla, only 2000. We can agree for you, only 2000. Thank you very much. Limutli lager. I'm on TikTok. Okay. Ready for Mr. McKenzie? No, kadlala. Neke botsa gore le mo TikTok. Ke ba ba ka ba mo TikTok. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, our young people. I will now call on Mr. McKenzie. We are changing the program. You know the power of mic. You can do whatever you want to do with it. So we are changing it. Don't worry about the programs that you are having. I normally do this when I chair the program. So I'm changing it. U10. I know more N1. Rajigan Rotana more N4 bafetune. So ke batla o fanta te McKenzie so that that's any more N4. I go. One tlhaloganya Minister of Education. Ondiva ka kuhle. So ra change because we are chairing the program. Deputy Ministers and Minister. Thank you very much.
Chovito. We are together, we are together. There's a name I want you to remember, Themba Bavume. It is one of the world's best cricketers, DP. He's South African, he's from Langa. Yesterday they made history, and they're gonna make history forever. But why I came here to introduce the next band, I'm from a community, DP, where people die a lot because of gangsterism. In El Dorado Park, 4 people were shot dead 2 days ago. People die in Menenberg, and we as the GNU, the Minister of Police, I must tell the people from my community, we are working very hard to finish gangsterism. We can't tell you the plans, but through the GNU, I am right there. We are going to fix our communities. These gangsters that rule our communities, they come into the end of their time. We are going to deal with them like a dog deals with a bone. They can't threaten our communities anymore. We are busy with a program. We've got a very good Minister of Police. But why I'm coming here, DP, it's very hard to keep our children away from gangsterism because we don't have sporting facilities. We don't have these facilities. But now, since in the wisdom of President Ramaphosa, he has appointed a very vibrant sports minister and culture minister, we are going to change stuff. And the next band is a man called Greg Taylor. Greg Taylor is from Wasselbaai. There are many Greg Taylors in our community that keeps young children away from crime, that keep young children away from doing wrong things. And it's people like Greg Taylor that use their time without being paid to fight gangsterism through action. And what you see here, all those children, if there was no Greg Taylor, they would have been taken by the gangs. And that is the problem in our community. So I want us to give a great hand to the Greg Taylor Band and what they are doing in our community. Thank you very much. He's 5 or 6 years old. The boy is going to play now. He's 5 or 6 years old. The boy is going to play now.
Thank you very much. Rea leboga the Greg Taylor Band. Ka mmino o monate ke kopa le ba otlele matsogo ka gore ba lwana le di ritibatsi ba lwana le botlhokatsebe mo di community tsa rona. Rea leboga. We go on with our program. Minister McKenzie, in our midst we also have guests from different political parties, but because this province is the province as in more national unity for now, let me acknowledge in our midst the provincial chairperson of the African National Congress, Ntate No Maloi. Hari siri fitlu ko national unity and hari. Thank you very much. And other political parties that are here. I also saw the chairperson of other political parties. This day is not even political because it affects all young people across. So thank you very much. Let me call on Minister Chukunga, the Minister in the Presidency for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, and immediately Minister of Puo ya gago. Re kopa o biletse ko pele Deputy President wa rona. Re a leboga.
Thank you very much, Program Directors, His Excellency, Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Paul Mashatile, Premier of the Northwest Province, Honorable Lazarus Mohoshi, Ministers, Deputy Ministers, MECs, MPs, MPLs, Mayors and Councillors, Mayor of JP Max Local Municipality, Councillor Gaba Titiba Kakele, Director General in the Presidency and Secretary of Cabinet, Ms. Pindile Baleni, Executive Deputy Chairperson of the NYDA, Ms. Karabo Mohale, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, but more importantly, and in a special way, I want to greet South Africa's youth, our assets, South Africa, our South Africa's investment. ETA, South Africa's youth, ETA. ETA, South Africa's youth, ETA. Halala, South Africa's youth, halala. It is both an honor and a profound responsibility to contribute to the 2025 National Youth Day commemoration held here in Potchefstroom under the theme Skills for the Changing World, Empowering Youth for Meaningful Economic Participation. This morning, as we assemble in the province that gave us Ruth Mompati, who as a young woman helped organize the historic 1956 Women's March, Dr. Molifi Paul Sifularo, one of the founding members of the Azanian Student Organization, and Abraham Okopotso Tiro, a master teacher. We are called upon to break with the ordinary and adopt extraordinary measures to respond to the youth question. Too often, 1976 is remembered only as a rejection of Africans. Yes, but the truth is more profound. That generation rose up against a system designed to erase their minds, steal their futures, and condition them for subservience. They knew what Verwoerd meant when he said the African child did not need to learn beyond obedience. Program directors, our rate of youth unemployment represents a national crisis, as President Ramaphosa said it, and I believe it requires all of us to mount a de-siloed, all of government at all levels, and all of society response that is fit for purpose. Behind the unemployment numbers are families and young people who are traumatized, frustrated, and increasingly disillusioned. We hear it in their own words. As Zimasa Babasa put it during a youth think tank organized by my office in Gauteng, he said, if there is no work, the rest of the pyramid collapses. When the foundation of work is missing, the link between education and social mobility is weakened. Young people's confidence is eroded, often giving rise to a mental health decline, and dreams begin to rot in the silence of opportunity denied, unquote. Program director, as we honor young people's historic and ongoing role in our society, we must ask, what is the mandate of our young people today? In my own view, their mandate is to future-proof themselves and their country by organizing, by being skilled and reskilled, and skilling themselves in a manner that prepares them to take responsible ownership, control, and management of all well-producing resources of this land. As Malcolm X said, you are not outnumbered, you are out-organized. For us, organized youth like South Africa's youth represent a blessing with limitless potential, a strategic asset for the current and future well-being of this country and the continent. So, to our youth, organize, organize, and organize. Program directors, our continent is home to an estimated 453 million young people who are between the ages of 15 and 35, and to exceed 1 billion by 2063. Notably, about 70% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa is estimated to be under the age of 30. They represent the size of a largely untapped market for finished goods and services. They represent a market that must be connected through technology, a market that must be fed, a market that must travel, a market that must be entertained, a market that must be well-dressed. This is where our jobs will also come from. Program directors, over the past 2 weeks, we have sat with young people, not as a minister, but as a listener. Honorable Deputy President, young people are not just sitting. They are organized, they are involved, they are contributing to the country's economy. They are existing. On the 3rd of June, we launched Youth Month in Soweto, the birthplace of the 1976 uprising. There, Sepolitia, a young engineer, moderated a panel with precision and clarity. His message was direct. He said, I quote him, "We must build real bridges between the people and state. Opportunity must not be a distant promise. It must be a visible and workable path." On the 10th of June, we gathered over 130 young people for a youth debate watch party in Parliament, where young people from in and around Cape Town gathered to watch members of Parliament debate the state of the youth in South Africa. They didn't just observe Parliament, they interrogated it. One young member of Parliament reminded young people in the room that you may not be into politics, but politics is into you. On the 12th of June, in partnership with the University of Cape Town, we convened a Cape Town think tank constituted by a variety of young people, employed, unemployed, entrepreneurs, as well as students. It was energized, it was sharp, and deeply honest. Ms. Nswaki Mapela, a recent master's graduate, proposed a disability inclusion scorecard, a digital tool to hold departments and institutions accountable in staffing, infrastructure, and budgets. Her idea was echoed 2 days later at Youth Parliament by Ms. Tembelihle Nxayi, who challenged us to become, I quote, the moral champions of disability inclusion in Southern Africa. We also heard from Lisa Adams, a technology director and co-founder of Citizen Code, Dimpho Mueti, an international awarded gamer, and Kagisho Masaye, CEO and founder of Matric Alive, who collectively made a powerful case for a decolonized, community-centered innovation ecosystem. Their message was clear. They said, in the era of artificial intelligence, robotics, and gaming, our technologies must be designed by the people, for the people, and rooted in African values and social justice. On the 13th of June, we also witnessed the power of young democracy at the Youth Parliament. There was no hesitation, no fear, only fierce clarity as they demanded that Youth Parliament becomes more than just an event, but a respected site of accountability. And I agree with them. They are scaling gender justice and survivor-led policy reform, like Abigail Smith, a human trafficking survivor, now leading advocacy and embrace dignity and not I but we, championing abolitionist laws and second stage shelter for survivors. Young people are designing platforms that convert skills into livelihoods, like Wandile Mtoba, an aerospace engineer turned tech entrepreneur who co-founded Kandua to connect artisans to opportunities and now helps young innovators grow ideas into real businesses through a company called Coral Tree. They are unlocking investment for national development, like Tusani Fakute, a young mergers and acquisitions lawyer, helping businesses and government work together to fund infrastructure, grow local industries, and ensure that economic growth benefits more people, not just a few. In our capacity as chair of the G20 Working Group on the Empowerment of Women, we will be inviting these young people to shape legacy projects that will emerge out of the 3 key priority areas. These are the K-economy, financial inclusion, and combating gender violence and femicide. To our young people, and those that are listening at home, let us live here not only inspired, but mobilized. Let today remind every young person in South Africa that you are seen, you are needed, you are believed in, and you are backed. Your ideas and contributions are supported and appreciated. South Africa is safe in your hands. At this moment that I have the honor of introducing someone who needs no introduction. The former MEC of Safety and Security, Housing, Finance and Economic Affairs in Gauteng, the former Premier of Gauteng Province, the former Minister of Arts and Culture, the current Deputy President of the African National Congress, and the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency, Honorable Deputy President Paul Mashatile, to deliver the official 2025 Youth Day commemoration keynote address. May we all rise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Minister, come help me here. We must put the Deputy President in with a song. He's got a song he loves.
Okay, that's one. Hayo matata, hayo matata, hayo matata.
Minister in the Presidency responsible for women, youth, and persons with disabilities, Mesindisiwe Chukunga, Premier of the Northwest, Mr. Lazarus Mukhosi, ministers and deputy ministers here present, they all have been introduced. Director General, you were all also introduced. Ms. Pindile Baleni, members of the Executive Council of the province of the Northwest, all of you also introduced. Mayor of J.B. Max Municipality, Councillor Gaba Titiba Gatele, mayors, councillors, Mahoshia Rona Linteng, Mona Kajenu, Acting Chief Executive Officer of NYDA, also introduced, Mr. Mafika Duma, and then management team of NYDA. Heads of the private sector entities and civil society organizations, ambassadors, and all members of the diplomatic corps, the youth of South Africa, government officials here present, members of the media, all exhibitors who are with us today, esteemed guests, good afternoon. I thought I was going to address you in the morning, so I want to say good morning, but I can see, I think it's already afternoon. Good afternoon, Inhlikani, Ndimasiari, Dumelang kaofela. Ne ke ratile hore ke bue le lona ka Setswana gompieno. Fela Setswana sa ka ga sa tlhapa sentle. Re santse re se tlhapisa ko lapeng re ntse re se tlhapisa. Fela ke tla bua ka Seesemane go eletsa molaetsa ona o fitlhelle batho kaofela naga kaofela ke re ke a thaba ha le utlwisisa sa taba eo. Program directors, today we honor and pay tribute to the valiant and fearless young people who stood at the forefront of the liberation struggle on June 16, 1976. Regardless of their youthful stature, the youth of 1976 stood strong in the face of the oppressive system of the apartheid regime. They faced death with unwavering determination, fueled by a vision of equal rights and a more just society. As President Nelson Mandela recounted in his address on June 16, 1996, he said the following: "When freedom beckoned, you faced death and bullets and did not flinch. You responded to the call to build the underground and the mass democratic movement. You swelled the ranks of the People's Army and acquitted yourselves with distinctions on the battlefield." Close quote. It has been 49 years since that significant day, yet we will always remember the student leaders like Tsietsi Mashinini and Hastings Ndlovu, who orchestrated the mass demonstration that transformed our nation. We must never forget those who joined the long list of martyrs and paid the ultimate price for our freedom. These are the young brave souls who fought for a dream that they never saw come to life, a dream that continues to inspire us and guide us today. By taking action in 1976 against an enforced Afrikaans language as the exclusive medium of instruction in African schools, those young learners were carrying out the path of struggle defined by their forefathers through the Freedom Charter. 10 days from now, we will commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Freedom Charter. The adoption of the Freedom Charter on June 26, 1955, and the Soweto uprising on June 16, 1976, are significant milestones in South Africa's journey towards our freedom. Both occurring under unique circumstances, but inspired by the shared vision of a free and equal South Africa for all. The Freedom Charter continues to be a pillar of South Africa's constitution, influencing political and social climate of the country. It demands that the doors of learning and culture shall be open to all. This clause signified the Charter's commitment to equality and access to education for all South Africans. In this regard, this year's theme, Skills for a Changing World, Embracing Youth for Meaningful Economic Participation, is more relevant to the noble cause for which the generation of 1976 and those who came before them were prepared to lay down their lives. It embodies the essence of what we aim to achieve together, a future where our youth are not just empowered, but actively engaged in shaping a better tomorrow. Program directors, the reality is that many young people in South Africa are not living the future they hoped for. They are confronted by high levels of unemployment, inequality, and a lack of access to opportunities, especially in the digital world. As government, we acknowledge that for these young people, their reality remains unstable, undesirable, and unsustainable. According to Stats SA, young people between the ages of 15 and 34 make up just half of South Africa's working age population, about 20.9 million people in number. However, far too many of them can't find work, especially those between the ages of 15 and 24. Currently, South Africa's unemployment rate has gone up to 32.9%, and if we include people who gave up looking for work, the rate jumps up to 43.1%. The latest data from the quarterly labor force survey shows that more than half of young people aged between 18 and 34 are unemployed. This is one of the highest levels we have ever seen, and it is of great concern to all of us. What is also deeply worrying is the growing number of young people who are not in education, not in employment, and not in training. The current figure stands at about 3.8 million people. Among the 15 to 24 years old, which is about 37.1%, fall into this category, with young women being slightly more affected than young men. If we look at the wider age group of 15 to 34 years, the rate is even higher at 45.1%. Even our graduates are struggling, with nearly 1 in 4 graduates struggling to gain employment. This is more than just an economic issue. It is a moral emergency. It affects our whole society and demands urgent action from all sectors, government, business, and the community at large. We must fix the structural challenges in our economy to address inequality and skills mismatch between education and what the job market needs. In this regard, the government is collaborating with stakeholders like the Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator to combat youth economic exclusion by addressing the demand-supply mismatch in the South African labor market. Moreover, we need to encourage young people to look into starting their own businesses instead of waiting to be employed. In this day and age, entrepreneurship is one of the keys to building a better future. We've just heard from the 2 young people just now who were demonstrating how they've made it through their own initiative. We encourage more young people to do the same. Our National Development Plan, Vision 2030, highlights the importance of small businesses and entrepreneurship in creating jobs and growing the economy. We must encourage the youth to trust and believe in their ability to start and grow their own businesses. And we must give them the tools and support to do so. Through the Human Resource Development Council, we aim to reduce the scourge of poverty, inequality, and unemployment through creating platforms for social partners to deliberate on the country's skills and human capital development. The Council is also working on strengthening partnerships between TVET colleges and various stakeholders, including industry and employers, to ensure that training is aligned to the needs of the labor market. Program directors, we believe that providing young people with the skills they need to become entrepreneurs or employable is crucial to our society's success. Therefore, this year's theme, Skills for a Changing World, Empowering Youth for Meaningful Economic Participation, is both timely and relevant. It illuminates the urgent need to future-proof our young people with adaptable skills and the necessary capabilities to navigate the evolving labor market and contribute meaningfully to growth of our economy and industries in an era of rapid technological and social transformation. Our 4th Industrial Revolution report makes it clear that, and I quote, "Our success in the era of the 4th Industrial Revolution will depend on our ability to unleash the full scientific, industrial, and creative potential of South African society. In order to prosper in this new industrial era, we must not only revolutionize our learning, work, and living practices, but also embrace continuous innovation, adaptability, and unconventional thinking. Compatriots, as government, we offer various programs to support young entrepreneurs, including financial assistance, business development, and skills training. The National Youth Development Agency Grant Program and Youth Challenge Fund are key initiatives, along with the launch of a 20 billion rand annual transformation fund for the next 5 years, aiming to boost Black-owned businesses and historically disadvantaged groups. Program directors, these funds will act as catalysts to attract other funds to enhance support for macro, small, medium enterprises. Additionally, government is promoting youth participation in the digital economy through initiatives like Digital Economy Master Plan and the National Digital and Future Skills Strategy. These initiatives inspire hope in our quest to create employment and entrepreneurship amongst our young people. However, I believe that young people require more than just hope and resilience to thrive. They need policy support and access to capital and markets for their goods and services. And above all, they need a coordinated ecosystem that recognizes that by working together, we can do more to create enabling environment for young people. As part of assisting young entrepreneurs with quick turnarounds on invoice payments, we have proposed a war room on clean governance. Part of the main priorities of the Clean Governance War Room will be prioritization of 10 to 15-day payment cycle and transformative procurement of small businesses. This is doable. I know in the past it would take maybe 30 days to pay businesses, but particularly small businesses, we need to pay them on time, otherwise they go under. So this is really a transformative process that we're engaging in that is going to help small, medium enterprises. We must speed up the execution of existing legislation and regulation to make a meaningful contribution to the lives of the youth. Program directors, while challenges remain, allow me to briefly reflect on some of the major victories that our democratic dispensation has registered in advancing youth empowerment since 1994. First, where the inequality and disregard inherited in 1994 affected us. Secondly, program directors, in higher education, our National Student Financial Aid Scheme, a catalyst for widening access to higher education for the marginalized, has grown from a modest 33 million rands in 1991, serving only 7,240 students, to now over 52 billion rands, funding more than 1.1 million students at universities and TVET colleges. That's real progress. As a result of this sustained investment, the demographic composition of our higher education system has been fundamentally transformed. In 1994, there were 266,000 black students, representing about 50.4% of the total student population. By 2020, that number had grown to 862,000 black students, constituting 80% of enrollments. In 2017, our government restructured NSFAS, converting it from a predominantly loan-based scheme into a grant system to ensure that higher education does not become a death sentence for young people. This support includes, amongst others, the NYDA Solomon Mahlangu Scholarship, which continues to advance the educational aspiration of youth from rural areas and township communities. We have also met and surpassed gender parity in higher education participation rates, with over 60% of graduates from our colleges and universities now being young women. As demand for education continues to grow, it is only natural that challenges around accommodation and administration of NSFAS have emerged. However, we are encouraged by the efforts of the Department of Higher Education and Training, which are currently underway to ensure that no deserving student is left behind. Thank you very much, Minister Nkabani, for those efforts. No deserving student will be left behind. Program Director, over the past 5 years, several mass youth employment programs have been implemented across the length and breadth of our country to respond to the challenge of youth unemployment. The Presidential Youth Employment Intervention was launched in 2020 to cultivate sustainable earning opportunities for young people from all walks of life. Just yesterday, the Presidency released a progress report on this initiative. The latest quarterly report confirms that over 4.7 million young people are now registered on the National Pathway Management Network, with more than 1.6 million earning opportunities secured through a variety of initiatives and partnerships. At the beginning of this month, 205,000 young people were placed in jobs. And this was done through phase 5 of the Basic Education Employment Initiative as part of the Presidential Youth Employment Stimulus. Thank you, Minister of Basic Education. We want to see more of this, more young people being taken into these programs. Government has also implemented the Social Employment Fund managed by the Industrial Development Corporation, which has been designed to address employment and promote social value through the whole of society approach. Social Employment Fund supports civil society organizations to create employment opportunities within local communities, focusing on initiatives that addresses social challenges like health, education, and food security. Since its inception in 2021, the Social Employment Fund has been able to create and retain 140,000 jobs across over 6,000 sites nationwide. Since 2012, the Small Enterprise Finance Agency has offered development finance to youth-owned SMMEs and cooperatives struggling to secure commercial credit through their various youth-specific funding options. including the Youth Fund Challenge, loans, grants, credit guarantees, and business support services to aid young entrepreneurs in their endeavors. Program directors, along these efforts, the National Youth Development Agency has a dedicated substantial resource to promote a culture of entrepreneurship among young people from all backgrounds. In line with our theme of skills for a changing world, let me turn to the catalytic project we have developed for implementation over the next 5 years to future-proof our youth and their income-earning abilities. In 2023, as our democratic dispensation turned 30, the Department of Women, Youth and People with Disabilities made a commitment to move beyond advocacy and begin to conceive nationwide transformative projects with a particular focus on poor and marginalized communities. To this end, the Minister in the Presidency, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, made a commitment to the President and Parliament to rally all governments, departments, and all of society, particularly industry and civil society organizations, behind the conceptualization and implementation of what we call South African National Service Institute, SANSI. I had an honor to launch this program last year in May alongside several industry associations. I'm actually happy, Program Director, to see many of them here today. I think a lot of those that you see there come from that SANSI program, those with the green outfit. It's an inspiration for a lot of you young people to go that direction. Through SANSI, young people can look forward to a range of nationwide interventions and programs with sustained, or rather sustainable and clearly defined opportunities in sectors such as agriculture, artificial intelligence, coding, robotics, and energy-related activities, value chains, and many other activities. Program directors, I was pleased to hear that some young people here in Potchefstroom embarked on a cleaning campaign over the past few days. And I'm told also this morning, with the support, of course, of our municipality. This follows the launch of the Clean Cities and Towns campaign, which we launched on the 6th of June in Kliptown, in Soweto, in collaboration with SALGA and the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. We are also going to get more government departments to be involved in this campaign. So I would like to urge all young people to take the lead in building safe, clean, and prosperous communities. Compatriots, as I conclude, I want to emphasize that the youth deserve nothing less than a future where their skills, creativity, and determination can flourish in a changing world. We urge the private sector to create opportunities by investing, hiring, and supporting youth innovation. To the youth of our country, do not give up in pursuing a better future for yourselves and a better future for our country. Your voice, your ideas, and your energy are the fuel that will definitely build this country. We therefore invite you to be part of the upcoming national dialogue that is going to be convened to shape the future trajectory of our country. To parents, teachers, and communities, let us support and guide our children. The government will continue leading from the front by creating a conducive environment for economic growth, education, safety, and creating all opportunities for our young people. We must stand united in our commitment to creating a better tomorrow for the youth and the generation to come. I thank you very much. Ke leboga go menagane.
Thank you, DP, for that powerful speech with all the information. Thank you very much. We are going to call, just before we call the mayor to come and do the vote of thanks. The vote of thanks, Mayor Gaba, if you can walk to the stage already to do the vote of thanks. We are coming to the end of our program. Our artists are ready, but let's get the thanks. Dat gaat lekker wees hierso. Somebody lost a brand new car. Your car keys are here. You are very lucky. If I picked that up a few years ago before my change, I would have helped you to look for your car now, having it safely. Is it your? Oh. There's another car. Yeah, people are even leaving their cars. I've got 2 car keys here. Come and tell me what is your registration. You don't just say this is your car keys. Come give me your registration. We must see. Does it open? DP, thank you very much. That was very thoughtful. Mayor Gaba, are you ready? Give us the vote of thanks. We ask another person who wants to do the vote of thanks. He made another speech. We don't have time for that. Over to you, Mayor Gaba.
Program propellers, thank you very much for the opportunity given to render the vote of thanks prepared by the Executive Mayor, Nikiwe Num. I would not waste time. I would quickly go through it. As we conclude this important event honoring the bravery of our youth from 1976, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this gathering possible. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our program directors, Minister McKenzie and MEC Tapi, for guiding us through today's proceedings with such enthusiasm. A special acknowledgement goes to Fiona, our program director for part 1 of the morning cultural program. I would also like to express our appreciation for our dedicated language interpreters who ensured that everyone could fully engage and participate in the spirit of unity. To our Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, and the Premier of the Northwest, Mr. Mukhosi, thank you so much for your leadership and support. We are also grateful to the Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, Ms. Chukunga, for her continued advocacy for our youth and marginalized communities. A heartfelt thanks to you, to the NYDA Deputy Chair, for championing the interest of our young people across the nation. We are especially proud of young achievers Sandile Kopola and Janchis Burdere, whose stories embodied the spirit and resilience we celebrate today. Additionally, we thank the learners from Potchefstroom Secondary School and all the talented individuals who rendered performances and contributed items to our program, making this event vibrant and memorable. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts of every involving the organizing in this event, as well as all you who attended. Your presence here today signifies your commitment to honoring the legacy of those who stood up for justice, equality, and change. We hope that today has inspired you, not only remembering the courage displayed by the youth of 1976, but also actively contributed to addressing the challenges we face in our communities today, such as issues of unclean towns, cities, and villages, among many others. Together, let us carry towards the spirit of the youth of 1976 by taking meaningful action in our daily lives, fostering a cleaner, more respectful, and sustainable environment for generations to come. Ke a leboga. Thank you very much.
We already had the person coming to claim the keys. When we asked for the registration, he gave me another registration. So when you come to claim for the keys, the security cluster, the police will deal with us because we nearly gave the wrong person the car keys. The deputy president will come and greet before he leaves all the ambassadors. He will greet all the ministers. Our deputy president is going to Russia later, but he insists that I must inform you that you will be greeted. There's 3 very big announcements we need to make. It's Youth Day today. We have the SRC members here and the leadership of Orbit TVET College, Taletso TVET College, Vuselela TVET College, Northwest University, Northwest CET College. Then, from this province, we shall make a big mistake if we don't recognize that this province, Premier, has kept our name high. We had Russians, people coming from everywhere, coming to try to win the comrades. But the winner is Tete Dijani from the Northwest Province, Harmusa Petsovico. Then in conclusion, young people, don't listen always to just bad news. This country, South Africa is a great country with great heroes. I want to leave you with 2 names of fearless leaders. One of them is called Solomon Masangu. When he was hanged by the apartheid regime, he said, "My blood will nourish the trees of freedom for future generations to come." Another young man that was fearless was a young man called Anton French. When the apartheid regime attacked him, he told them, "Go halme," and he fought for me and you until death. To show you what a great country we live in, what a great government this is. Since the GNU came into power, I want to show you Bafana, since the GNU, has not lost 1 game for 20 games they have played. GNU yasebenza. I want to show you, we have in 2025, DP, we have the world's best cricket team in the world. We have the world's best rugby team in the world. We have the strongest man in the world is South African. We have the strongest woman in the world is South African. The world's best surfer is South African. The world's fastest man in 100 meters is South African. The world's fastest woman in 800 meters is South African. The world's fastest 400 meter team is South African. The world's mixed 100-meter team is South African. The world's UFC champion, Dricus du Plessis, is South African. We are a great nation, and never forget that. And I want to call up a lady. You know, I couldn't believe it. During the G20 DG, we were having the G20 meeting. This lady, she even made people from all countries. I had to chase them out because they didn't want to leave. She was singing, they were dancing, and she's here today. I want us, if you can't dance, take tips from us. Because Riteng Mona Bos Butla. Lastly, our Honorable Deputy President was speaking here. He said, Swana Sahai, Siko ICU nyana, Sabaiza. So I was sitting there wondering, DP, if your Swana is not so good, how did you get the wife here in the Northwest Province? Love speaks all languages. Libat was at the Swana Bafumani Basari border. So, is Lady Du ready? Lady Du, over to you.
Aganiti Wawa.
Asu.
Aganiti Wawa.
Wawa.
Aganiti Wawa.
Wawa.
Aganiti Wawa.
Wawa.
Okay, I've got a bit of a message before I start performing. I know you know I do this.